Health education to me is learning and gaining the knowledge on how to improve and control your health and have a healthier lifestyle. With my degree, I want to become an occupational therapist. At first, I wanted to be a healthcare administrator, but I wanted to be more hands on within my community. I figured out that I wanted to be an occupational therapist after my grandmother had her first stroke and seeing all the issues she had with having to depend on her caregivers that she currently has now because she had an issue with walking again and learning how to put her clothes on again and just learn how to eat on her own or prepare her own meals. So I wanted to be that caregiver for her because she took care of me when I was a young girl. And I had wished that I had thought about it sooner to be an occupational therapist because I could have been right there with her. I would have been able to be in the home with her and teach her the activities or help her as far as with maybe an exercise that would better help her routine as far as getting back to her normal self where she's independent. I chose health education promotion because I'm a people person and I love making a difference in people's lives. It really brings joy to me. What motivated my choice would, of course, be my grandma. Right now, I work at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, and I am a credentialing supervisor. So what we currently do is the background verification for providers who want to see our patients. So right now, I feel like I'm in my purpose. Getting my foot in the door of a major corporation that I could become an occupational therapist with, where they would be able to refer me or recruit me at a local hospital, a clinic, or a private practice or an established medical group. I want to start there first because I want to build up my experience after school and after getting my master's in occupational therapy, building up my clientele, learning different things on the job that you don't learn in school. I mean, of course, as far as occupational therapy, you learn a lot, but you learn more once you actually hit the ground running and get to know people and their different backgrounds and the different scenarios that you may come across when it comes to patients as it relates to occupational therapy. The populations I'm most interested in working with, of course, one would be the elderly, but I'm really interested in learning how an occupational therapist can help someone who's autistic, especially like autistic children as they are transitioning into becoming an adult. I want to be that person that's there, whatever knowledge or skills that I can provide on my end that could help them as far as life goes with it being a little easier for them because I know a lot of times it may seem difficult because their learning and their mechanisms is different than a person who doesn't have autism. So I would love to learn how I would be a great help to make a difference in the life of an autistic person. As it relates to elderly, of course, any elderly patient that I have, I would think about my grandmother, and their care is, of course, my first concern. I want to be able to help them get back to their normal self where they feel more efficient and independent and in self-control. So anything that I can do that would be as far as something better for them. It would really bring a smile to me because it would remind me of my grandma. She's 80 now. She's doing great, don't get me wrong, but she still has caregivers, and there are many days that she wishes that she could drive to the store because she can't, or she wishes she could go out and go shop, but she can't because she has to have someone with her. So being able to help someone that may not be in that same situation once I become an occupational therapist, say if they have like a stroke or a heart attack or something major happen to them where it affects their cognitive skills, and I could be able to bring that back for them, it will make me feel like I did my job that I wanted to do with my grandma when she initially had her stroke. Once I establish myself in like a medical practice or in a hospital setting or a private practice, I then want to go out and actually make my own business or start my own business is what I should say. I first want to build up my clientele and my experience, as I mentioned earlier, and then from there be able to be more flexible, because of course people who do go to the doctor, as far as elderly and autistic, their parents or some relative of theirs is bringing them. So being able to be more flexible with my office hours than the regular maybe 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, because occupational therapists do have a flexible time, I think that would help also. But building my clientele, my rapport and relationships with patients, where they'll refer me to other patients, of course.